Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello.
అది వాళ్ళు స్టార్ట్ అయినప్పుడు చెప్పండి, అక్కడ వాళ్ళందరూ లైన్లో నుంచి చెప్పండి, నేను పే చేస్తాను. కమింగ్ లైన్. राजीव डोर क्लोज कर, एसी जा रहा है. లేరు ఇక్కడ.
teacher. Good morning, one and all. In our pursuit of excellence, graduation ceremony marks a significant milestone. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome the honorable dignitaries of the graduation ceremony procession, Dr. Jayant Gandhi, Chancellor's nominee, SBKM's NMIMS, Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Ajit Rangnekar, Dr. Rajan Saxena, Vice Chancellor, NMIMS University, Dr. Debashish Sanyal, Dean, School of Business Management, Dr. Prithvi Yadav, Director, NMIMS Hyderabad, and Ms. Varuna Saxena, Deputy Registrar, NMIMS University. May I request our Chief Guest, Mr. Ajit Rangnekar, Honorable Chancellor's nominee, Dr. Jayant Gandhi, Honorable Vice Chancellor, NMIMS University, Dr. Rajan Saxena, Dr. Debasis Sanyal, Provost and Dean School of Business Management, Dr. Prithvi Yadav, Director, NMIMS Hyderabad, and Ms. Varuna Saxena, Deputy Registrar, NMIMS University, to come forward for lighting the auspicious lamp and seeking the blessings of Goddess Saraswati.
या कुन्देन्दु तुषारहार धवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रान्विता या वीणां वरदण्डमण्डितकरा या पद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युत शङ्कर प्रभृतिभिः देवैः सदा पूजिता सा मार्पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेषजाड्यापहा। या
I would now like to invite Ms. Varuna Saxena, Deputy Registrar, NMIMS University, to initiate the graduation ceremony proceedings.
May I request the nominee of the Honorable Chancellor, Dr. Jayant Gandhi, to kindly declare NMIMS Hyderabad graduation ceremony open.
I declare the graduation ceremony of SUKM's NMIMS Hyderabad Campus 2017 open.
I would now request Dr. Jayant Gandhi, our Honorable Chancellor's nominee, to present the bouquet and memento as a token of our appreciation to our chief guest for the day, Dr. Ajit Rangnekar. No. I would now invite Dr. Rajan Saxena, Vice Chancellor, NMIMS University, to present the welcome address.
Our chief guest this morning, Dr. Ajit Rangnekar, the former Dean ISB, the nominee of the Chancellor, Dr. Jayant Gandhi, Vice Provost, Management Education and Dean School of Business Management, Mumbai, Dr. Debasis Sanyal, Director, Hyderabad Campus, Dr. Prithvi Yadav, Deputy Registrar, Academic, Dr. Mrs. Varuna Saxena, members of the faculty, staff, graduating students, parents, spouses of our executive participants, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. Well, let me take this opportunity of welcoming Our chief guest this morning, Dr. Ajit Rangnekar, whom many of us have known as one of the leaders in management education in this country, is one person who has been instrumental in ISB early stages being set up and then led the ISB right from the front itself. Today, ISB, in terms of the accreditations, etc., what it stands is largely due to his kind of a leadership. So we are extremely privileged to you for having accepted our invitation. I would also like to take this opportunity of welcoming all the parents and guests this morning. It's a great moment for each one of you, because your sons and daughters or spouses are graduating today. It's a great moment indeed. I'd like to also welcome all of you who are graduating today, this morning. You all have come a very, very hard way to this stage. I know how hard it is to get into NMIMS. The difficulty of entering into an NMIMS program is substantively high. And then to go through the whole program with all the kind of academic rigor that is put into it by the Academic Council and by the Board of Management is indeed commendable. So I would like to congratulate each one of you for your success, and therefore, since this is your day, give a loud kind of a cheer to yourself. And I would also like you to cheer up your faculty, because it's the faculty who have really made it possible for you all to be there. They're right over here. They've worked along with you and the staff. Your parents, your spouses, they've all really contributed to being where you are. So it's a great moment indeed, and especially for the Hyderabad campus that decided, where the director was particularly insistent the last year, that they wanted to have the convocation, the graduation function at Hyderabad for the Hyderabad batch. And it took us some time to really get convinced on this whole need for having it in the city. As you all know, we were all along having it along with the Bangalore campus, all of you together, but we decided that fair enough, we will take our leap of faith and put our confidence in the director's ability to put together this kind of a graduation. So my compliments to you, Dr. Jitmati Yadav. Well, many of you would know very little about NMIMS. So I just thought that at this point of time, I'll just give you a kind of a bird's eye view of what NMIMS is all about. It's an institution, so I cannot sort of talk about too many things at this point of time. This is not the occasion either way. But let me mention this, that NMIMS today is a 36-year-old business school. It's a business school that has defined management education in this country, much the same way as the liberalization defined Indian economy the way it is today. We were set up in 1981 by the Shri Vilepalli Kelvani Mandal. The Shri Vilepalli Kelvani Mandal is in short term, SVKM, is a public charitable trust that was set up in 1934. And it was from that first point thereon that the SVKM has been, spearheading a large number of educational initiatives in the city and later in the recent past across the country itself. It's an institution, NMIMS is an institution. By 1995, when the first ever ranking exercise really came up in this country, and there were just about 150 business schools, and only 50 business schools were taken up for the purposes of ranking at that point of time, NMIMS Business School came into being the top. Which is a commendable kind of an for this business school, because there have been, if you look at the management education, it has expanded, it has grown by leaps and bounds, but to be able to maintain that kind of a position in this kind of a growing economy of management education was indeed commendable. So the business school today has arrived, it is there, as I always say, It's a 36-year-old young executive. Think of a young executive who's a 36-year-old. Visualize that 36-year-old young executive who's heading to be the chief executive or of a division or a president of a division or something like that, and or is recognized as really the leader in his own field. That is the kind of a situation that I see as a business school. Recognizing the kind of work that we were doing in management education in 2003, the Government of India conferred on us a deemed university status, and thereafter, when we became a university, we started looking to do something which was different. One of four things that have defined NMIMS all along have been the innovation, it has been the entrepreneurial spirit, it has been the market responsiveness, and the fourth has been, very importantly, is to do things which will enhance the quality of higher education in this country. So the four parts that have really defined the higher education in NMIMS, in SCKM itself. Over these 14 years, NMIMS University has emerged today as one of the most credible names in higher education. We are today a multidisciplinary, multi-campus university, and the confidence of the stakeholders get reflected through multiple ways. One is the increasing number of applications for our programs. At the business school, for example, this year we are going to be selecting out of 70,000 students, just a group of almost about 1,000 students in all our campuses itself. So that is the kind of a rigor, the difficulty of entry into the business school and in NMIMS University per se. So the increasing number of applications, increasing confidence of the corporate recruiters in our graduates, the accreditation agencies, national or international, and finally, obviously, we are talking about the various independent kind of bodies like the industry bodies itself, like for example, the FICCI award last year that we got as a university in the category University of the Year in the category of 10 to 30 years, and the award for leadership and governance that we got at the international benchmarking competition held at Nanjing in China last year. So it's been a great kind of a movement that has been there. I said we have been innovative. Now let me just give you some example of what we have done. After we became a university, we said that when we were setting up an engineering college, we said we don't want to do only the BTech or an MTech, but we created a kind integrated 5-year program, which was in engineering and management, and therefore created an MBA Tech program. When we set up a pharmacy, we didn't want to do only a B.Pharm, M.Pharm, but we created an integrated program called as a B.Pharm, called as an MBA Pharma Tech, which is an integration of pharmacy, pharmaceutical technology, and management. We set up an architecture school, science school, etc. But the two most important kind of innovations that have happened in the recent past is last year the setting up of the School of Liberal Arts, which is entirely different from the way that we see liberal arts education in this country itself. It offers in the third year the choice to the student to make a career choice. And for the first 2.5 years or first 2 years, the student is really exploring for himself or herself what he or she would want to do. And the third year is where you start looking at, from the point of view, trying to understand what is it that you're going to be doing. Either you're going to be a journalist, you want to be a musician, you want to be a dancer, you want to be a, let's say, an entrepreneur, and that's where your career choices are. And this year we have set up a School of Design, which is going to start off from this academic year. We have a great Center for Entrepreneurship and Family Business, which has been in the business of professionalizing family businesses in India and playing a very significant role since 1999. This center recently received a very richly a great fund support from one of the philanthropic trusts called as by the Dalal Trust, and therefore the center today has come to be known as Praveen Dalal Center for Entrepreneurship and Family Business. Our journal, NMIMS Management Review, today got included in the Cable's directory and is on the way to be included in the Scopus itself. And we also started with the Journal of Economics and Public Policy itself. Where do we see our future? And NMIMS, in the future, in the next 15 years, we see it as a globally highly ranked institution, admired by peers, stakeholders, and the society at large, for the contribution that alumni makes to the world order, quality education enhancing employability of young India and faculty scholarship, and certainly we should be recognized for the excellence, the model of excellence that we have created back at our own institution itself. And all of us at NMIMS stand committed to that. As a Hyderabad campus, we have come a long way from the time that we set up in 2010. We started our program over here in 2010. So in about 6 years, the 7 years that we have been over here, the campus has grown, and I would like to, at this point of time, acknowledge the contribution of the founding director. At this point of time, Dr. Karunakar, who is our professor of strategic management. Dr. Karunakar, you had a tough time, I know, setting up this institution, but we always keep this in mind, that institution builders are those who have to go through all the kind of rigor to make an institution. So early people play a very significant role at that point of time. Well, friends, all of you who are graduating at this point of time, just a few words for you all. You're all graduating in perhaps some of the most challenging times. These are most interesting times. These are times when you have a very significant opportunity, but at the same time, you also have significant challenges. The opportunity to innovate, the opportunity to create something different exists for you all. But at the same time, there is this challenge, the challenge where the global politics today is creating a world which is going to increasingly become an inward-looking. Now, when the world becomes inward-looking, what happens? Is it that the opportunities cease to exist? No. Possibly, we got to create a new business model. We got to come out with a different way of coping up with those kinds of an environment. As a management graduate, this is one of the biggest kind of a lesson that we all learn, that perhaps in no other education you are taught this aspect of managing change, but it is here in this particular program that you are taught how to really manage the change, and not just manage the change, but even lead the change. And it is here that you need to ponder what kind of a change would you like to create, and how are you going to be coping with that kind of a change. At the same point of time, we also need to consider the fact that technology today is at the center of driving this change itself. Many a time, we realize that Internet or Internet of Things or other technologies have virtually changed the way we produce, the way we consume, and the way we communicate with the rest of the world. So no matter what policies that you are talking about it, the fact is it is this technology which is going to enable you to really create such kind of business models which will help you to cope up with this kind of a change. At the same time, technology is also telling us that the old jobs will not exist. The routine jobs are not there. So the new factories are not the same, but they're not going to be any more labor intensive. Even for that matter, let us say that the IT firms, for example, even where you have the great factories in the IT firms, as I keep saying, these are the factories, the knowledge factories which are there. Increasingly, you will find that the routine jobs are going to get outsourced even there. The coding jobs will not exist over there, for example. But what are the kind of jobs that are going to be there? Are the high-skilled jobs. They are the kind of jobs which are going to require you to create design a product. Yesterday night, when we were coming over from Bangalore to Hyderabad, Dr. Gandhi and I, we were talking about it, from the perspective of what is it that the School of Design is going to be doing. And we were just talking about the kind of environment and the kind of opportunities that are going to exist. The point that we are trying to talk about is that the opportunity to create a product today is very high, and in the IT sector per se. And therefore, you've got to really understand that what will be required are some of those high-skilled kind of, some of the high skills, or let's say problem-solving skills. It's those analytical skills, it's the design skills that are going to be far more relevant than simply doing some of those kinds of coding jobs, etc. We do realize that many of these jobs, whatever are the jobs that are coming in, may not necessarily come from some of the well-known companies that we have known about, but they're going to be coming over from some of the smaller companies. And we've got to be ready to be working in some of these smaller companies and startups. But when you start working for the startup, keep this in mind, understand the risk factors also, because any startup would have a gestation period. And during this gestation period, risks are going to be substantively on a higher side. So consider these aspects that are there. As you would also look at it, even the organizations in which you will be working may demand more of creativity from you. Compliance will no more be a valued kind of a characteristic. Creativity, innovation, coming out with something very different is going to be important. Speed to market, a critical success factor for such organization. Target achievement, important. But what is important is also how you build the teams. And are you really creating leaders within the team? So it is not just merely that you leading the team, but also are you creating the leaders within the team who in turn will invariably achieve the target. So no matter what the difficulty is, they will go out and create those kinds of targets. These are like your commando forces who achieve that kind of a target itself. And certainly the leadership skill therefore that is going to be there is one is in terms of the collaborative and competitiveness, and at the same time understanding that you've got to work through the networks, and an important thing is to let go certain things, believing in the principle of letting go. Let me also look at it from the perspective of another part, with which you are all very familiar with, and which is in terms of the social network. Well, social networks are there, but we are all aware of the fact that social networks have the power to influence the opinion. Now, when it is so, it is important for you all that when you get onto the social networks, it is you who have the power to influence the opinion, or be influenced by others' opinion. When you are getting influenced by others' opinion, start asking a lot of questions. Otherwise, you will as much be a victim of dogmatic thinking as possibly your earlier generation may have been. So therefore, to be able to fight such kind of a dogmatic thinking, you've got to go back and apply the same kind of a skill set that may have been taught to you in management education when you do a case study, for example. And as a leader, I always say that there are two very important aspects that everybody is going to be looking at you. One is in terms of the tolerance to another person's viewpoint, and also respecting the diversity. Let me share something from my own personal experience of having led institutions in this country. I have had multiple kind of situations where my team members may have completely disagreed with me. Now, did I really have a solution to many of those kinds of things? What is it that I did at that point of time? Possibly, I did not have any answers for what many came up with, the problems that they came up with. But what is it that I did was, I listened to them. I looked at what were their perspectives. Maybe their perspective was a better perspective than my own perspective. Willing to let go my own perspective makes you a stronger leader. It doesn't weaken you as a leader. And so therefore, keep this in mind, that your colleague, your team member may have a better perspective, because the person may be coming from a very, very different kind of a background and an experience. So let's understand that and really make the team really go up. Aggression and bad temper disturbs the team climate and also leads to the stress, not just within the team, but even for you as a leader. So therefore, the best results are always achieved by teams which are not stressed out. Let me conclude by actually sharing with you something with which I've been concerned. And I've, at this point of time, not only talked to you all as graduating students, but also to your parents and to the executive participants who have their spouses present over here. We have recently been seeing a lot of cases within the university relating to mental health. Something that about 10 years ago was here and there within the system. Today I see these instances growing. And I see these instances growing not just merely within my system, but I see these instances growing in the society itself. Some of the very obvious symptoms that are there are alienation, depression, substance abuse, sexual abuse, violence, suicides. These are just some of those kinds of symptoms. How do we cope with this up? I think as management graduates and as future leaders, you need to develop the internal strength. And how do you develop that internal strength? What gives you this internal strength is not what has been taught to you at the business school. We haven't taught you. What we have taught to you are the problem solving, the cognitive, the interpersonal, and the execution, decision-making skills, etc. But what is it that will really help you at this point of time is the spiritual path. And when I'm talking about the spiritual path, I'm not talking about religion. Please keep this in mind at all. The spirituality will help you to live the life, how to live the life. Whereas the management degree will help you to earn for life. Both are important, and therefore it is important for you all to look at it. It is not to be looking at it at the time when you come of your parents' age. You've got to look at it today, because you've got to understand that the mental health will come in the way of your creating value. It's going to come in your way of performing. And that is not good for the society per se, and for you itself. You need to really fight back. You need to also understand that many a time there are losses, there are defeats, but then you need to accept that defeat with equanimity, much the same way as you accept your successes in life. It's important for you all to keep sharing, banish negativity, etc. Let me conclude by saying that from today onwards, you are all our ambassadors in the society and in the industry. So go out, keep the flag flying high, because you came to us because we are NMIMS. Now, onwards, the world will know us from what you are going to do. So keep this in mind. So we are all going to be looking forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. I now invite Dr. Prithvi Yadav, Director, NMIMS Hyderabad, to present annual report of NMIMS Hyderabad 2016-17.
Honorable Chancellor's nominee to preside today's graduation ceremony, Honorable Chief Vice Chancellor Dr. Rajan Saxena, Dr. Devasi Sanyal, Vice Provost, Mrs. Varna Saxena, Deputy Registrar, faculty members, staff, parents, spouses of graduating students, invited guests, media, and all graduating students. It's a privilege and honor to me to welcome you all this graduation ceremony 2017 of Hyderabad campus. Today's graduation ceremony is very special and momentous occasion for all faculty and staff and students of Hyderabad campus. As VC sir has already emphasized that it is the first time we are holding the convocation, the graduation ceremony in the city. That gives the entire credit to all of you, to all my faculty colleagues, to staff for their entire support, help, and untiring efforts they did. This year has been very, very exceptional for us since we have achieved some of the milestones in our journey. Some of these, like we have received AICTE approval in May 2016, AMBA accreditation in September 2016 along with Bangalore campus. And after being AMBA accreditation, it's proud for all of us that we are the first institute in Hyderabad to have this coveted distinction. NMIMS Hyderabad was ranked one of the top 6 emerging B schools in 2016 by NHRDN People's Ranking, along with new IIMs like Raipur, Ranchi, and Udaipur. And just recently, the NIRF ranking 2017, the NMIMS Hyderabad is one of the 2 B schools from entire Telangana state figuring in top B school category. Credit goes to all of you. At the outset, on behalf of faculty and staff, I would like to convey our heartiest congratulations to all of you on this memorable graduation day. It's indeed an important milestone in your life. I compliment your parents for having chosen to educate you in this highly prestigious institution. Your achievements would reflect the fulfillment of their dreams, aspirations, and goals. I salute my faculty colleagues for teaching you the best practices in business and management, and also for inculcating human values and professional ethics. NMIMS Hyderabad had an exhilarating journey since we started the management program for executives in 2010. There has been no looking back since then, and as batch after batch joined us at regular intervals, reposing confidence in us. We have launched 14th batch just recently. The 20-month program has been helping the working executives to reinvent themselves, increase their bandwidth by acquiring general management competencies, assume higher responsibilities, and achieve career growth. Today, data analytics is the buzzword in the industry, and it is going to be the next big wave that will sweep across the world, and India is going to be right at the top forefront of it. McKinsey Global Institute reports US alone could face a shortage of 190,000 professionals who possess business analytics skills, and additionally 1.5 million professionals with the skills set to implement the results. To meet this enormous opportunity, we have launched 9 months certificate in business analytics in association with SAS India. The 3rd batch is going to be started soon. I am very happy to share that majority of participants from the first batch got more than 30 to 40% hike in their compensation, and with analytics profile much before completion of the program. Even the second batch, which is getting at the words of completion, participants have already got offers with much more profile and compensation, thus making this CBA program is one of the most popular programs in the city. Our flagship program, that is the full-time PGDM, so far 4 batches have passed out. Today, yours is the 5th batch that is graduating out. Now, PGDM has a full batch capacity of 128 students, and it is one of the most sought of campus for MBA students. Hyderabad campus has been one of the most vibrant campus with full of activities like international conferences, workshops, FDPs, training programs, student competitions, conclaves round the year. Let me present before you the most popular and prominent ones in very, very brief. We have successfully organized second international conference in January 2017 on theme Management Challenges and Trends in Digital Era. More than 50 research papers were presented by faculty, students, and research scholars from India and abroad. Post-conference, workshop was conducted on publishing research in international journals. Our faculty members have published research papers in highly impact journals, chaired technical sessions, delivered keynote lectures, and presented papers at international and national conferences and workshops organized by Uttara University Dhaka, GBMF USA, MDSA, MICA, AIMS International, TIE Global Summit, CII Annual Conference, NHRDN Conference, International Conference at University of Hyderabad, etc., etc. We have conducted faculty development programs on how to publish research papers in highly impact journals by Professor Jack Reardon, founder, editor of International Journal of Pluralism and Economics Education, that is being published by UK, one of the most popular research journal. Faculty and researchers from Hyderabad institutions participated in the workshop, and second phase of this FDP is going to be in July to see the feedback of the first FDP program. Our faculty members have been attending the faculty development programs to upgrade their skills and to have the new dimensions in teaching at regular intervals. This year, faculty members have gone to Harvard Business School, ISB, NMIMS Mumbai, etc. NMIMS Hyderabad has started conducting the management development programs from this year. I am very happy to announce that this year we have conducted 4 management development programs successfully with the organizations, and we have generated the revenues more than 10 lakhs rupees. And our target is to have next year the 25 lakhs rupees of revenue. This year, NMIMS Hyderabad has taken lead in restructuring curricula, in reducing the classroom load drastically from 43 courses to 34 courses, in tune with Ivy League MBA curricula programs at the international level. We have been reinventing innovative ideas to bring self-learning and outside classroom learnings to the students. NMIMS Hyderabad has very close association with the industries and other industry bodies like CII Telangana, CII Southern Region, T-Hub, Hyderabad TIE, CII Yuva, Young India, and IWN, etc., etc. Recently, we have signed MOU with the EE Factory, that is the China-based organization, for developing entrepreneurship in the electronics manufacturing. EE Factory is in process of setting up electronics park in association with Telangana and AP governments. We have signed MOU with the T-Hub for Incubation and Entrepreneurial Center at the Institute to inculcate entrepreneurship and to encourage the startups among the students. We have continued the international exchange program since last year, and this year around 8 students are already on the exchange program at European and Chinese universities, and because of their exchange program, they are not able to make it to the part of this graduation ceremony. Let me brief you some of the students' activities which are very, very crucial and important for all of us to upgrade their skills while being on the campus. The Student Council was constituted during the year in sync with universities' Student Council and have been taking over the entire students' management of activities. So far, in the entire year, students' activities were organized through 13 committees and clubs. I am happy to share that more than 60 intra and inter-institutes events and competitions, online and offline, were organized. All elite institutions, including IIMs, IITs, NITI, SPGen, IMT, Symbiosis, etc., have participated in those competitions and events. Some mega events were so popular that social media impressions, hits, likings were more than even 30,000. Some most popular events of the students' activities are yearbook, the first time we have introduced in the Hyderabad campus, and that is in line with all elite institutions, and that yearbook was shared with the passing out batch. Budge, the third wave, Phenomena, Vincenza, Conventus, Cricolytics, Articulator, Conquista, Hirig Veda, Big Bass, etc., etc. All students deserve special compliments for this great work done. Tafri and Theatre Club was the newest addition this year in the student club activity. One of the street play of this Tafri Club was so popular that they were invited by different organizations to perform in the city several times. Analytics was another addition this year, and the kind of the activities they did under that particular club, they were adjudged the Special Jury Award for Emerging Club this year. Both the clubs, for this extra effort, deserve a special applause. Continuing the trend of 100% placements, NMIMS Hyderabad is proud to have an outstanding placement season for the class of 2017. The placement season of 2017 witnessed an astounding hike in the number of recruiters visiting the campus, both new and regular, with diverse profile offered. With over 67 companies making offers to the batch of 81 students appearing for the final placement. The season was triumphant success. Some of the highlights are 76% increase in number of recruiters, out of which 82% were new recruiters this year. Average package was more than 9 lakhs. 36% increase in median package. This reinforces consistency in our placement process. In SIP, batch of 129 were placed in 65 companies, and out of which 77% were new recruiters. Significantly, 59% increase in average stipend over previous year. This reinforces the strong corporate image of brand NMIMS Hyderabad. The various student-driven committees, clubs, distinguished alumni, and especially Students' Placement Committee worked tirelessly to ensure that the placement season is a huge success. All deserves a special applause. While concluding, I once again congratulate you on this occasion and remind yourself that your graduation day symbolizes your never-ending journey of discipline, hard work, and pursuit of an ever higher standard. I, along with my faculty colleagues, convey sincere gratitude to Honorable Chancellor through his nominee, Dr. Jayant Gandhi, Honorable Vice Chancellor for continuous guidance and support. Vice Provost deserves special thanks for taking special care for us. Finally, wish each one of you the very best for your journey ahead. We love you and we miss you now. Thanking you all.
Thank you, sir. I now invite Dr. Karnakar, Chairperson PGP, to present the list of graduating students. I request Honorable Chancellor's nominee, Dr. Jayant Gandhi, and Vice Chancellor, Dr. Rajan Saxena, to come forward for handing over the diplomas to the graduating students. I would request Director Dr. Prithvi Yadav to accompany them.
Dr. Jayant Gandhi, Honorary Joint Secretary, SVKM Trust, and Honorable Chancellor's nominee, I present unto you these candidates who have been certified after examination to be duly qualified to receive the diploma in the postgraduate program in management in the Faculty of Management Studies. I would now request the graduating participants of PGDVM MPE batches 9 and 10 and PGDM full-time batch 5 who have registered for this graduation ceremony and are present here to come forward and receive their diploma. Somaya Chadda, Vihari Chambani, Bibhupada Mishra, Satya Mohanty, Ark Roy, Amit Shah, Bharat, Karthik, Kareem Khan, Soumya, Dhruv, Narendra, Akshat Wagre, Madhuchanda Mishra, Arpita Raj, Divyanshi Agarwal, Pankaj Andani, Meghnath, Manisha, Anukriti, Janeshwari, Anshul Chaudhary, Preeti, Arpit Jain, Shikhar Chaudhary, Aishwarya, Parth, Saurabh, Anjum Goel, Amitav Kumar Gupta, I will now request the Vice Chancellor to hand over the remaining certificates. Cherry Gupta, Shubham Gupta, Anusha Kuchpudi, Sri Vikram, Mehul Kapoor, Vinay Kasturi, Anuj Kandelwal, Animesh Kumar, Mishri, Vishesh Manchandana, Manohar, Arjun, Shashikant, Anshul, Reha Mittal, Rupal, Abhishek, Avishri, Anjali Sharma, Pushpit, Devanjan, Sylvester Stephen, Radhika Goyal, Kirtana, Ankit, Nitin Thomas, Himanshu Tiwari, Ayush Upadhyay, Purnima, and Meghamala. Keep the applause going, please. Honorable Chancellor nominee, I now present unto you these candidates in absentia who have also been certified after examination to be duly qualified to receive the Diploma in Postgraduate Program in Management in the Faculty of Management Studies. Swasti Verma, Manish Bankar. Thank you very much, sir.
May I now request our director, Dr. Prithvi Yadav, to announce the Best Student Award for the graduating batches. I now invite Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. Ajit Rangnekar, to present the medals to the top-ranking students who made it to the toppers list of NMIMS University.
Ready? So, I present before you the students who on the basis of CGPA have been declared eligible for Toppers List 2015-17 in PGDM programs. The topper list: first, the PGDM MPE batch 9, Amish Shah. MPE batch 10, there are 2 joint toppers. Arpita Raj and Madhu Chandanda. And now the most awaited PGDM full time. The first rank topper Arpit Jain. Second rank Preeti Yagnamurthy. And the third rank Sri Bikram. Sir, I present before you the students who on the basis of their CGPA have been declared eligible for Dean's List 2015-17 in PGDM programs. First, MPE batch 9, second year, Amish Shah. Batch 10, second year, Arpita Raj. PGDM full-time, second year, Arpit Jain. Preeti Yagnamurthy. Sri Vikram. Ansul Singh. Anusa Kuchipudi. Now the Dean's list on the basis of the first year program. MP batch 9, Amish Shah. Batch 10, there are two joint Dean's list, Madhuchandana Mishra and Arpita Raj. Now PGDM full-time, first year, Sri Vikram. Arpit Jain. Preeti Yagnamurthy. Anusa Kuchipudi. Sasikanth, Radhika Goyal, Meghmala Naidu, Kirtana Manuru, Sir, one more. The Best Student Award, sir, I present before you Sri Bikram, who has been adjudged the best student for institution building.
I now call upon our Vice Chancellor Dr. Rajan Saxena to authorize the graduating students to wear the robes ordained as insignia of their certificates and conduct the oath ceremony. Students are requested to rise and participate.
By virtue of the power vested in me by the Board of Management of SVKM's NMIMS University, as Vice Chancellor, I admit you to the postgraduate diploma in the School of Business Management for which you have been declared to be qualified, and to receive the postgraduate diploma in Business Management Executive for working executives and postgraduate diploma in Management Program for full-time students certificate from this university, and as a token, you have been presented with the diploma. I charge you to uphold the values embedded in NMIMS PGDM in your life and career. I request the Chancellor's nominee, Dr. Jayant Gandhi, to confer the diplomas.
I hereby confer the diplomas.
May I now request our Deputy Registrar NMIMS, Ms. Varuna Saxena, to present the graduation register for signature to the Chancellor's nominee. It's my privilege to introduce our Honorable Chief Guest for the day, Mr. Ajit Rangnekar. Mr. Ajit Rangnekar is the Director General of the Research and Innovation Cycle of Hyderabad, a unique initiative of the Telangana government to foster innovation through collaboration between academic institutions, research institutions, and industry. Prior to that, he was the first Deputy Dean and the Dean of ISB for 13 years. He helped build ISB, Indian School of Business, as a global institution ranked as high as 12th of the world at one stage. He was invited to be in the board of GMAC and was a member of the AASCSB Blue Ribbon Committee that set the Global Business School accreditation standards. He was a founder member of T-Hub, the largest incubator in India. He sits on the board of private companies. Prior to joining ISB, Ajit Rangnekar sir has spent 21 years in Hong Kong, working for a majority of that period with PricewaterhouseCoopers in many capacities, including that as country head. First for PricewaterhouseCoopers, he joined as consulting, and then for PricewaterhouseCoopers as consulting and management. He has experience in a wide range of sectors, from cement, chemicals, and power to shipping, telecom, and systems, and of course, higher education, and in countries like China, Philippines, Thailand, Indonesia, and Vietnam. He did his undergraduate studies from IIT Bombay and his post-graduation in management from IIM Ahmedabad. May I request Dr. Ajit Rangnekar sir to give his speech.
Namaste. And first and foremost, my hearty congratulations. Let me actually, instead of starting with the students, actually start with the leadership here. I know how difficult it is to create institutions. I know how difficult it was when you people started. And, you know, NMIMS has always been a highly respected name amongst private educational institutions. We have, as I'm sure you know, learned a lot from your family business program and many of your other programs. We have had many discussions about how we challenge the bureaucracy together. And you started this campus a little before we started Mohali, so we have also been keeping an eye on it to see how we learn from many of these things. And, you know, we underestimate the challenges of creating high quality academic institutions in this country. And my sincere congratulations to all of you for doing such a wonderful job. Great. Wonderful. Let me also congratulate all of you. You know, first and foremost, the faculty. You know, I know what it must be to every day, every year, every 2 years, you know, and faculty don't just involve themselves in your studies. You know, they actually emotionally involve themselves in you. And it is a little gut-wrenching every time the students go. So I fully understand. A character of an organization is seen by how they treat people. In many academic organizations, I have seen that we only think about faculty. What I noticed from every person who spoke was that they also recognized the role that staff, the non-teaching staff, play in an education. They play a humongous role, and very rarely are they acknowledged. And I thank you and I admire the fact that you have always acknowledged their role throughout this. This is what makes character. It's how. And by the way, I saw one of your students here, Pita, that, you know, when there were two first, she allowed the other person to come in first. Again, that talks of character. Well done. I must say I'm very proud of you at what you did. So let me now get to the students and talk. But before I do, we had a very interesting chat about standard operating procedures for graduation ceremonies. And I'm going to add one to you, that please share your VC speech with the chief guest, because he has already said everything I wanted to say. So to some extent, this is IPL time, right? So I'm like that batsman sitting in the dugout saying, am I going to go out there? What is going to be my role? Anyway, he's hitting all the sixers there. What am I going to do? How much am I going to? Will I have the time to say what I want to say? So I now understand how those people who come in the last few overs feel. So when someday, I'm sure soon, many of you will also be on the podium, many of you will be in speech. I'll tell you one thing. If you are the last speaker, you should normally have 2 to 3 versions of your speech ready. I made that mistake, I didn't do it, but I shall now wing it. Then let's hope that I do that. But let's get back to you. 2 years ago, you came in as students. You came in as young people with hope. Today, you're going as young adults. All these years, your parents looked after you, your faculty looked after you, the administration looked after you. Now you're going to play your role as equal partners of the school. Think about it, before you applied, we as institutions market to you to say that we are a great institution. You must come and join us. We all do it in different ways, but we do it. The moment you apply, you start marketing to us, saying, I'm worth taking, you should take me in. Now, you and the institution are partners. Your success is the institution's success is your success. And you are now the flag bearers and champions, and the world will see NMIMS and the Hyderabad campus based on what you do. And the world that you are going out into is actually a very, very different world from what you even came into. So if we just step out and see, what are some of these things? What is this world you are entering into? Okay? The first thing is, many people now call this a post-truth era. It's the fake news era. I beg to differ. News for all time was fake. It is just that it was controlled by a few newspapers and a few television stations. So you only got to hear what some of the big newspapers and big TV stations said was news. So who are the ones complaining most about the fake news? It is these people who are losing their control over your mind. Today, each one of you has an opportunity to give your version, to share your version, to create your groups. But with that also is that we are now facing a large number of very differing kinds of news. And therefore, it's difficult for us to know what is the truth, how should we look at that truth, and how should we take. So, ambiguity and uncertainty have now multiplied to a level which we have never seen before. And you have to live and work in that environment. Okay? So, complicating this, just think about how we decide on personal matters. Just think about how we decide on political matters. Just think about how we decide on social matters. We entirely do that through the heart. I like somebody, therefore I am his friend. Therefore, I am willing to accept whatever he says. I don't like that other person, so even if that person says, I start with a bang. So, our entire way of looking at our personal lives is emotional. I had a fascinating session with one of your first year students when I came with him, and we were talking about how people buy two-wheelers. And nobody buys a two-wheeler rationally. Nobody does an analysis of its, longevity, whatever. We just buy it based on, I like the style, I like the looks, I like that ad, and I would like to be like that hero in that ad, etc., etc., right? So a lot of our decisions are emotional, and yet increasingly business decisions are based on data. Now, if we can't look after our own lives on data, how are we going to manage our professional lives using data? So think about that and see that, so if I were to ask all of you here, and I will not, that will Prime Minister Modi get re-elected and will he do well in his next term? The truth is, very few of us really know in absolute this thing what is happening to the economy. We really don't know. So we have a little bit of data. We take that little bit of data, and even that data is not perfect, but we think it is. Then what do? We make assumptions about missing data. So nobody knows what happened in Godhra, but we all make whatever assumptions we have. Why is that? We make that assumptions based on our upbringing, our experiences, our biases, our values, our prejudices. Then what do? We use criteria. What is a successful prime minister? One who ensures law and order, or one who ensures growth, or one who ensures equity, or one who builds a temple? I don't know. But each one of us uses a different criteria. Again, based on our values, our thinking, our way of doing. Then what do? We make projections. So the simplest projection we made is, if I have known what has happened in the last 2-3 years, the same thing will happen for the next 7 years. Will it? Won't it? I don't know. Again, how do we think of that? If I am an optimist, I'll say things will be good. If I am a pessimist, and if I don't like Modi, then I'll say it will be bad. So all the decisions that we take are based on our own biases, prejudices, even the so-called objective decisions we take. So I would urge you, when you go out in life, is to be very, every time you're making a decision, think of what implicit assumptions you're making in those. And be very careful about that. Okay? So that's the first thing, and it's getting even more complicated because we don't really know what the truth is, and we are getting multiple versions of that truth. The second thing is that there is going to be an ever increasing and faster impact of technology. You are probably amongst the last 5 or 10 years who will get the education the way you are getting it. The way we deliver education is going to change. The way our faculty interact with you is going to change. Already in many institutions, and we tried this in ISB many years ago, we have introduced the flipped classroom, where the faculty doesn't have to give lectures. It's all done online, and what you do is you actually discuss specific issues and so on and so forth. But all that is going to change, and now you will have access to global education. So that's going to be another big. Things like health will change. Already people are talking of gene splicing to take care of the 7 biggest ailments: BP, heart, kidney, liver, and brain, and 1 or 2 more. Okay, so they talk of splicing the brain and saying that people will get 30 to 50 years more of active, useful life, not vegetative life, but active, useful life. People like me who are at the current end are very interested in that, Hopefully I can continue to be active. But that's going to be. On the negative side, cyber terrorism, biological warfare, etc. are going to be humongously big. And cyber terrorism. But to me, the most worrying thing which all of you will have to worry about is subtle brainwashing. Because if you get education, which I think it will, see, today we are not able to reach the education to rural people, to poor people. You are chosen few. There are a large number of people out there who don't get. Tomorrow, with the new technology, especially 5G and all the related thing, you will get 3D, 4D technology on the tap as much as you want. So you can have access to education from anywhere. But what values are embedded in that education? My biggest worry is somebody with a wrong mindset could produce the highest quality technical education embedded in which are bad values. How do we protect against it? This is going to be some of our big challenges. I think Professor Saxena also already talked that traditional jobs will disappear, right? But think about it, completely not thought of opportunities will emerge. After the Second World War, or even as recently as 1970 or 1980, who thought of the IT revolution? Nobody. After the Second World War, IBM said that there will be 4 computers in the world. Right? Today, IT has a largest number, and IT and all its derivatives, like startups that you do, are fundamentally IT in nature or the other. Today have. They all came up in the last, from say mid-90s to now. And they'll disappear and something new will come. And we don't know what that new is going to be. But there will be opportunities, right? So I wish, forget that, health, this thing, and becoming 30 years, living 30 years longer. Frankly, I wish I was in my early 20s and sitting there instead of standing here. This is an era of tremendous opportunities. Unforeseen, you don't know what new opportunity you're going to have. But you are well educated, you're well groomed, you come from reasonably good family backgrounds, you won the lottery, mates. You have got the genetics on your side. It's for you now to make the most of it. So how do you prepare for it? First is expect the unexpected. In other words, nobody knows what's going to happen 10 years from now. So don't plan. When I started my career, I said I'll work in manufacturing, then I'll go to finance, then all that actually happened because the world hardly changed in those days. Today, you don't know what kind of work you're going to face. My guess is that at least 5 times in your career, you're going to lose your job for no fault of yours. At least 5 times. Because the company you're working for will suddenly disappear. Okay, it could be taken over, it could be merged, it could be eaten up by somebody. Anything can happen. So uncertainty is the method. So expect the unexpected. The expected will not happen. That's guaranteed. You just think, as recently as 1980 or 1990, if you had asked this whole gathering to write what 2017 would look like, how many of you have predicted this? Nobody. And it's going to get much faster. So what is the solution? Lifelong, just-in-time learning. For those of you who think that I have now finished my MBA and I don't have to study, get real. Every single day you're going to study. And that's how the world of tomorrow is going to change. Look what happens. We teach you strategy. We teach you how to be a CEO, right? And then you start with the assistant manager's job in a company. What do? We take you for 1 year or 2 years. We have fixed classes. We have fixed hours. And we don't care what is the diversity. We have to only teach you. Some of you may be very good in the morning, some of you may be very good in the afternoon, some of you like me may be never good, but whatever it is, you still have to do it in the same time period. That constraint will go away. You will get personalized education of the subject you want at the time you want, when in whichever format you want, like whether it's a game, whether it's a lecture, whether it's an interactive thing, whatever you want, but provided you're ready to study and learn. So learning forever, lifelong learning, and just-in-time learning are going to be the order of the day. Which also means that the role of the institutions will change dramatically. Have intense curiosity. You are in the perfect world of a tea. You need to have deep expertise in one area, but you also need to have enormous curiosity about everything else. We all talk admiringly about Tesla Motors and what a great change it is. But that entire technology was available in the aviation sector for decades, not longer. Right? So A lot of changes in your industry will come from industries outside yours. So you must have continuous curiosity, continuous willingness to study, learn, understand, look beyond your core. At the same time, have an in-depth stuff, but it's going to happen. I think Professor Saxena already talked about it. Have a questioning mindset. The status quo is not going to remain. Question, question, question. Professor Prasad Kaipa, who was my colleague at ISB, calls it your core incompetence. We think that I solved this problem this way and it was a brilliant solution. So what do? Second time you face the problem, you solve it the same way. And again it works. And the third time. Now what happens is you think this is the only way. But the world around you changes. And when the world around you changes, that old way of doing it is no longer right. So Prasad Kaipa calls it your core incompetence. And whatever you hold core is going to be useless very soon. So you have to change and adapt. You have to question yourself. The working environment is going to be very flexible. Most of you 5 to 10 years from now will not have anything like a permanent job. People will be summoned for a project. So there will be flexible working. There will be notices put on whatever is the then equivalent of the internet saying I want skills like this. You bid for it, saying I'm willing to give so many hours, I can do this and this is my rate, and there will be an open auction and you'll be. The hierarchy will be based on knowledge and not experience. And the compensation will be based on result and not years of service. So you have to adapt to that. So these are just some of the few things. But now step back and say, all this is fine, I'm going out. But what do I really, really want? What is my definition of success? Is it money? Is it power? Is it prestige? Is it job satisfaction? Many of these people who are sitting down there don't get a lot of money, but that's what they do is for their own satisfaction. What is it? Do you know? Do you know what you want? Do you want a happy family? Do you want a healthy life? And I know what you're going to think as a yes to everything, which means no to everything. Chances are that if you choose only one, you're likely to achieve it. Chances are that if you choose two, you may achieve something. And chances are very high that if you choose three, you will not achieve it. Because it's a highly competitive, fiercely competitive world. Everyone is trying the same thing. So you better be very, very clear now while you're stepping out as to what is it that you are really trying to get in life. And that will change over time. Right now you want the latest car, you want the fanciest house, you want a whole lot of other things. After that, as you grow your family, as you grow in age, it will change, which is okay. But at any given time, you should know what you want. And even more important, before you know what you want, do you know who you are? Who are you? What values do you really represent? Not what you put in Facebook or CV. What you put in Facebook and CV are fine. I'm hardworking, intelligent, but who are you really? Do you even have the courage to stand in front of the mirror and face up to who you are? Are you happy with that? For what value are you willing to give up everything else? Do you know that? Or will you start thinking about it when the time comes, which will be too late? How well do you know yourself? So forget all the technology, forget all the changes in the world, forget everything. If you know who you are and if you know what values you stand for, then you can be like Dhruva, the Dhruva Sara, the North Star as Americans would call it, which stands steadfast when the whole world is changing. So I hope and pray that all of you are going to find your own North Star, that you will know who you are, and that when you step out into the world, you'll do some wonderful things which will make yourself, your families, your institution, the rest of the society proud of you. So go forth into this world. Have a lovely time. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I would request Vice Provost and Dean, School of Business Management, Dr. Debashish Sanyal, sir, to propose a vote of thanks to the August gathering.
At the university, the Board of Management is the highest body under the UGC Act and that gives authority over the design, delivery, assessment and quality assurance of our academic, research and other engagement programs. I have the privilege to be the Vice Provost, Management Education of the prestigious SBKM's NMIMS School of Business Management. On behalf of NMIMS, SBM's Hyderabad campus, I stand here not only to congratulate all the new graduates, but also to propose the vote of thanks. I am privileged and honored. First, let me take this opportunity to thank our esteemed chief guest, Dr. Ajit Ragnekar, former Dean ISB Hyderabad and Head Research and Innovation Circle of Telangana State, for his presence in spite of his busy schedule. Ambiguity and uncertainty is very critical, and one needs to manage and address ethically is what we emphasized, and I'm sure the graduating batch will remember them lifelong. You have made a strong observation regarding assumption one makes for the decision. One should try to be as objective as possible. That's what you said. Sir, you have rightfully pointed and cautioned the graduates to be very careful about brainwashing. I am sure the graduate will have taken a note of it. Student graduates, remember the important mantra of lifelong learning and looking beyond one's competence and horizon that Dr. Ragnekar have mentioned. Thank you, sir, once again for your presence and for the keynote address. I would like to express my sincere thanks to the President SBKM and Chancellor NMIMS, Sri Amrish Patel, for his continuous guidance and support. Our Chancellor's strong belief to serve society by offering quality education to all those who are deserving keeps all of us motivated and charged to provide quality education. Dr. Jayant Gandhi, nominee of the Chancellor and Joint Honorary Secretary SBKMs, I would like to thank you for your continuous support at all times, sir. My thanks are due to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Rajan Saxena, not only for his presence and inspiring address, but also for his continuous guidance and leadership. You emphasized, sir, that in the challenging time, graduates should learn to develop innovative business models will be with the graduate students for a long time. Problem-solving skill, innovative skills, analytical skills, design skills are the requirement of future time, and I'm sure these mantras will be with the students and they'll remember it for lifelong. You advised and emphasized on the importance of leaders to recognize the talent and perspective of his or her team for growth of organization is not only meant for advice, not only meant for the students, but all present over here. My regards and thanks are due to Dr. Prithvi Yadav, Director, Hyderabad Campus, for all the efforts that he has put in during the year for taking the program to the new heights. His commitment has ensured that Hyderabad Campus is not only recognized nationally, but internationally too. My thanks are due to Ms. Varuna Saxena, Deputy Registrar Academics, for her presence and for all the academic support that she has provided to the Hyderabad campus. I must hasten to congratulate and thank each and every faculty members present over here. Your work so diligently with these graduates, often in the face of enormous challenges, you ensured that they are more than ready to take their rightful place in this world. You provided the knowledge and the skill that empower them to play their part in creating a better future, not only for themselves and their families, but also for the community, their country, and the world at large. Congratulations to you all. I'll be failing in my duty if I don't thank all the members of SBKM Trust, the officials of SBKM. Thank you for their guidance and for bestowing the faith on the Hyderabad campus and the management education fraternity to deliver quality programs. Special thanks are due to the staff of the Hyderabad campus and NMIMS University for their continuous support and the great work that they do to ensure smooth running of the programs. Congratulations are also due to the parents, family members, spouse, who have sacrificed so much to give this graduate one of the life's greatest game changers, high quality university education. Dear students, don't forget to give a loving hug to your dear parents after this ceremony. That's the minimum you can give for all they have given you. Last but not the least, my dear graduates, you are a very special group of young people. You are very intelligent, focused, dedicated, and tenacious. With all this set of virtues, you could not have graduated, and this occasion would not have taken place. Before I sign off, I would like to thank each and every one over here for their presence and making this convocation success. Thank you very much.
I will now invite our Deputy Registrar, Ms. Varuna Saxena, to initiate the closure of graduation ceremony.
May I request nominee of the Honorable Chancellor, Dr. Jayant Gandhi, to declare the graduation ceremony 2017 of NMIMS Hyderabad closed.
I declare the graduation ceremony 2017 of SVKM's NMIMS Hyderabad campus closed.
May I now request all the members present here on the dais and off the dais to rise up for our national anthem.
हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
I request all the faculty members and the graduating students to join on the dais for group photograph. Guests and family members can proceed to the campus for lunch. They can avail the transport facility provided by the college. Student volunteers will guide you. Thank you very much. After the procession receipts, I would request all the faculty members to come on the dais. Please. Students can fling their caps. I request all the faculty members and students to join on the dais for the group photograph.
Bachelor's we take the batch 9, MBA batch 9 first, and in the batch 10, and PGD.
Okay, batch wise group photographs will be taken. MPE batch 9 can join us first, followed by MPE batch 10, then PGDM.